Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. If you find a wild critter has snuck into your home or attic or crawl space, call the Wildlife Division of Southeast Termite and Pest Control. If you want to keep out ladybugs, stink bugs, box elder bugs this winter, call Southeast Termite and Pest Control. No matter what kind of pest you're talking about, Southeast Termite and Pest Control, they'll handle the control part of it. They've done it for me for years. SoutheastTermite.com for you to learn more about this 50-year-old local business. All right. These two here were teammates at Tennessee under Lane Kiffin, Derek Dooley, Butch Jones. You played under Johnny Majors, and you left just a year or two before Philip Fulmer ascended and took the throne, took the crown. So you played for a lot of assistant coaches, a lot of different assistants under Coach Majors, because that was a
that was
merry-go-round.
That was interesting.
Well, my question for all you guys is, and we'll keep this part of it quick, but how soon do you know when a new coach comes in, either, I'm buying into this guy, or I'm not buying this? How quickly do you know yay or nay about buy-in to a coach?
For me, I never really figured it out. When I was young, I was like, cool, that's the next guy. Because I was always bought into the university.
Right.
And I didn't really care who the person was. And so I was in no matter what until my senior year when it was the third one. Then it was like, all right, I'm going to talk to the strength coach. If I have to hear my fifth strength coach tell me that I've not been working hard for 4 years, I was like, I'm out. This is over with. I'm done.
All right, I love this because I know what Marlon's answer is going to be. You're just like, I never figured it out. You're a lot quicker.
A lot quicker. I got some experience in that. I would say probably camp, right? Tough camp. A couple weeks in, it's hot. You've been banging a little bit. I want to know what your message is. We didn't have such a great practice. Talk to me. What are you feeling now? I'm getting a feed off you as to how you approach it. So I would say camp is a huge part of it. Camp's a huge part of it.
And with Kiffin and Jones, you guys bought in. With Dooley, it was pretty quick not buy in, correct? Is that fair to say?
Correct. That's correct.
That's correct.
One thing Jones did was he actually showed us the Dooley camp the year before and put it side by side with what it was this year and showed the speed comparison, just playing it. And I'll never forget that image of how different the two speeds between Dooley's practices and Butch's were.
Two different people, for sure.
Sterling, in terms of buying into new coaches, you only had to do it with assistants.
I was lucky.
How tough was it?
Well, for me, it was tougher. As tough. I think they have new assistants probably also with new head coaches. Sure. But it was tough because I had gained a certain relationship with Coach Harris. He was the reason why I even chose Tennessee, be candid about it. Then he went on to pursue a head coaching job. Then after him came Coach Hoffa, who was coaching running backs at Syracuse. And when Syracuse recruited me to play quarterback, he even asked, do I consider playing running back at Syracuse? And so then he comes down here to coach quarterbacks, and he leaves for a head coaching job at his alma mater. Then Coach Cutcliffe, who's known me since I've gotten here, moved from tight ends to running back to quarterback coach. And, I felt a relationship with Coach Cutcliffe, and I guess that's what makes him such a great quarterback guru now, because he had all the tricks coming at him his first year, and you guys can't fool him.
Well, here's my question. So you guys have been through it with all kinds of turnover and flipping, and you're buying in, and you're buying out. When you're first getting in with these guys, you need, and you talked about this a little earlier, you need some sort of reward. I'm buying in, I'm putting this in, there's got to be something that comes back my way. You lost to Pitt, you lost to Florida, got Missouri. I don't want to say it was all going to crumble down if you lose to Missouri, but you answered my question, because I was wondering if you were kind of in that gray zone now of you better give them something when you did. How big was this particular win for this team in terms of its buy-in?
Well, it's big, again, because you're looking at it from a standpoint. We just dropped the big game versus Florida. Our fan base cares a lot more about certain games than they do others. And so the Florida game is big. And, again, you're hearing all the slogans. You're hearing all the different phrases. You want to see that pay off at some point. And so that's the reason why I say the Missouri game was big, because you're in the cusp of losing the team if you go out there to Missouri and you drop to Missouri that we know is not the same level as some of the other competition we're going to play against.
Daniel, you think it was a big one for this team?
I think it was, but more for the preparation side of it. I think Coach Heupel said this was their best week in practice. This was the best 48 hours leading into it. And if I'm a player and I did that and I gave him the best of all those things, and then we go out there and get beat, it's going to be a hard sell to me to do that again the next week.
I think it's impressive that you had your best week of practice. You had a good 48 hours going in, but after the loss to Florida. That's probably a good sign of their buy-in to begin with. The fact that you take it on the chin, you lose one you shouldn't have against Pitt, you get beat pretty good by Florida, especially in that second half, and then you go have your best week of practice. That's a good sign, I would think. Sterling, how big was this for this team?
It was huge. I'm going to say ginormous because you had a leader stand up, Alontae Taylor, telling you they're not going to fold. The fans need to hear that, and then the players produced the game they did this weekend. I remember my freshman year, all those nights I stayed with Coach Gruden, who's now the head coach of the Raiders. We in there watching film because he's my graduate assistant at that time, and then I had my best week of practice against a team I just beat for homecoming, which was Ole Miss, was a great team that year. And then we going into Kentucky, and Jeff Francis is coming back. I had my best week of practice, but Jeff started. You get that? We got to win at Tennessee, and we put the best people on the field that gives our team a chance to win at Tennessee. And yesterday, you saw a team wanting to win, and that's what happened to Missouri.
And I just wanted to add one quick thing, and then I always check the ESPN score predictor of like who Tennessee's now favored against. Just that, and it may not be anything, but even after just the win yesterday, you're now favored over South Carolina, Kentucky. Obviously, you're not Alabama and Georgia, but the one that was interesting is it changed the Ole Miss game into a toss-up game.
Yeah.
Hey, the game is 80% mental.
Here we go.
80% mental.
First of all, okay. The ESPN, I've crapped on that for years. It's their silly system. It's a crummy system. It's never right, first of all. Second of all, this is what happens. Now we're going to get back into people being mad at Heupel when he loses games because yesterday you beat Missouri. Great. You've still got a toss-up game with South Carolina next.
Yeah.
But nobody's viewing it that way. Okay, we'll beat South Carolina. Now we're going to beat Kentucky. Oh, we can beat Ole Miss and Kiffin. Just one game at a time. Just
Always.
It was a good win yesterday.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure nobody got a ring out of it.
Always
All
got hope,
right,
though.
just trying to keep hope. All right, and reality.
That's right.
1 foot on the reality.
But the sports
which
on
is
Thursday,
which
John
is tough
P.
with these guys. All right, very good. When we come, Sterling, thanks for being here today. Appreciate it.
Honored, my friend.
When we come back, we're going to take a look around the SEC kind of Tennessee schedule, who they've played, who they still got on the schedule, and we'll take a look at South Carolina. We still got game picks to make. Come on back on the Sports Source.